So, dear presenters, my fellow keynote speaker, Mr. Kiliana, Director of Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, and the organizers, especially Mr. Sampath Abeyikana and the Global Academic Research Institute. Thank you for inviting me to this wonderful conference. The title of my presentation, which I have sent to Mr. Sampath so he can email it to you if you wish, if you want that, is Building Peace Through Questioning Narratives. And it explains the importance of narratives or histories in the current status quo in Sri Lanka as well as in the world. So, in this August occasion and this very historic building, let me talk briefly about words and narratives. Now, the most obvious example or the most overt example of the harm words can do is through hate speech. But there's a more nuanced, more detrimental in a way, impact to any reconciliation process, and that is to the narratives or the histories that we adhere to that really created the conflict and exacerbated it. That the idea here is that every conflict has a history, and it tells of experiences and events that are very emotional to us. So let me take an example many times. If you look at two spouses who are ready to go for a divorce, they will have their own narratives about what happened, their history together, and when they come up and then face the judge, they will tell their story from their perspective, which they believe to be true, in order to convince the judge and the other side that this was what happened and this is why I need to have a divorce, and this is why I have to have the custody of the children, not that person. So when a war is waged, this is very well, these stories that we bring out in the midst of the war is very crucial, because while the war is waged in the present, it is actually the narratives and everything is waged in the past. It tells you about who was here first, who had the right to claim this place, who has the right to name things. So, strategically enhancing, excluding, or ignoring certain events and experiences and aspects of history. In times of conflict, they attempt to create one narrative that highlights this is us versus them. And the more intense the conflict, the more emotionally charged is this fight to have our group included in the history versus that group who does not have the right to call that their history. Or they can only take our version, not any other version. Now, when there's increased tension, and when there's new discussions about what is history and what is the correct history, what can happen is not only does it exclude certain people, but it can create and increase stereotypes. And these stereotypes are essential for the continuity of the conflict. Because you need a divided people. You need the people who view their group as good versus another group as bad, or us versus them. Only with this division in mind is it possible to create a distrust or even a hate towards another person or another group. And this is further exacerbated over time by emphasizing that not only are they challenging our history and where we came from, but after a while you say we don't even share the same ancestry. They are not of our blood. So what we have to do is understand the impact of these narratives. Now, there's an assumption that there's only one